This is Denise Jones-Harrington, and I am the Faith Partnership Coordinator with CICOA. And today I have with me Melinda Winnie, get it out right here, and she's going to explain to us a little bit about Dementia Friends Indiana.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Denise, for having me. Again, my name is Melinda. I also go by Mindy. Melinda Winnie. I'm the Dementia Education Specialist at CICOA Aging In-Home Solutions. So I started in the agency as a phone options counselor and then shifted my efforts into the caregiver options counselor role in our CareWare program. And then the last 2 years, I have focused all of my energy into the Dementia Friends Indiana initiative as a community programs coordinator. So recently, I became a dementia education specialist, again, focusing on the Dementia Friends Indiana initiative and raising awareness amongst our communities. So thank you so much for having me today.
Great. I'm so glad you could join me today, Mindy. And one of the things we like to do is first help people understand what Dementia Friends Indiana is in particular, as well as the fact that it's a bit of a movement that's happening
Absolutely.
throughout the state. So that's
Exactly.
really great to watch and see. So if you can just explain that to people, that'd be great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let me just start by sharing that Dementia Friends is a global movement. So as you mentioned, a movement, and that's exactly what it is. So this is global. So this was actually developed over in the United Kingdom by the Alzheimer's Society. And it is now underway, and this is what I think is so neat about it. Since April 2020, there are 67 programs that are either in development or have launched across 56 different countries, again, across the globe. So I think this is a really neat response to an epidemic that is being felt globally. So yes, we have our movement here in the state of Indiana, and it's making its way across the United States. But, you know, I can't go without highlighting the fact that this is a global initiative. So as I mentioned, I believe there's 25 different states and territories that have launched Dementia Friends, again, in their respective communities. And so in August of 2017, that is when Indiana became the 10th state to adopt this movement. So again, it's so exciting to be at the forefront of a grassroots movement that, again, is, you know, trying to raise awareness amongst our communities. So CICOA, as I mentioned, I am an employee of CICOA. CICOA Aging In-Home Solutions is the state administrator for this initiative in the state of Indiana. So, you know, with the states, they have different organizations that lead the charge, but here in the state of Indiana, CICOA is that go-to. So this is a program of CICOA.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you for explaining that. And it's
Absolutely.
always neat to hear that it's just not local, but it's something that's global. And
Exactly.
dementia is definitely something that people are experiencing, as well as it's important for those of us in the community to
Absolutely.
understand what dementia is and what to look for. And so in essence, can you tell us the purpose of educating people about dementia through Dementia Friends Indiana?
Absolutely. The purpose, as I've said a few different times, is really to advance that awareness and understanding of dementia and to break down the stigma that's associated with this condition across all community sectors.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's something that I personally admire the most about this initiative is, you know, yes, we're trying to continue to provide these educational opportunities to people who work directly with folks dealing with dementia, but we're also trying to wrap our arms around, again, all community sectors. So you think communities, you're thinking bank, financial, legal institutions, our local government, other businesses, restaurants. Again, I mean, when we stop to think about what makes up our community, that is our goal. And it's a lofty goal to try to reach everybody in the community. But, you know, through our educational sessions, we feel that by equipping everybody in the community with this understanding, with this knowledge, they start to truly understand not only how dementia, affects people, but they start to recognize those little or big changes or actions that they can take to make a difference in the life of somebody living with dementia. So one thing to highlight is through Dementia Friends Indiana, we offer these 1-hour educational sessions to the community, and those are at no charge.
Okay.
So that is really at the heart of what we do is education and awareness. So
Great. Great. That's
question.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. And since we're talking about faith communities and really want faith communities to understand Dementia Friends Indiana, what is the benefit of a faith community having a educational session at their church or with one of their ministry groups?
Absolutely. I think, the greatest benefit in my eyes, faith communities provide this essential respite, spiritual respite for people of all ages. And I think that is the greatest benefit of engaging in a Dementia Friends session or having your faith community become Dementia Friends is it's an opportunity to raise awareness amongst all ages.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's truly the greatest benefit to this is we've had, over the last 3 years, we've worked with a number of faith communities throughout the state. And you have seen, we've been featured in senior groups, but we've also had groups where you've had, younger folks all the way up through the lifespan who are engaged in the session. I think this session really helps equip the faith communities with, being able to recognize the signs and the symptoms of dementia, being able to distinguish what is natural or normal signs of aging versus what might be something a little bit more serious or significant.
Mm-hmm.
It opens up opportunities to have those difficult conversations and be able to encourage earlier detection and diagnosis. We spend a lot of time in our 1-hour session talking about local support services. So as I mentioned, through agencies like CICOA, so area agencies on aging, having an understanding that you can contact those agencies and receive information and referral assistance. And some of them provide a great deal of services like CICOA. Got the Alzheimer's Association, so understanding who they are and exactly what they can provide in the community. I think the session does a really nice job of kind of, touching on just every piece. I really describe these sessions as providing fundamental information. So it focus all its effort on the signs and symptoms, but kind of this holistic view on here's what it is, but here's how we help and support individuals and their families. I think another part of this is just learning to more effectively communicate with people living with dementia and their care partners as well. So I think that's what faith communities have to benefit from this. And just again, like I said, just opening that dialogue within the community. And just, I think people view faith communities as, these safe places in the community. They're inclusive, they're welcoming of all. And this is just kind of another level for the faith communities to add in that inclusivity. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. That's good information, Mindy. And in particular, when you think of a faith community, maybe the first place people feel safe going to, but also when you talk about getting rid of that stigma, it really is still a place of renewal for people. And what we haven't mentioned is that when someone is diagnosed with dementia, then there's going to be a caregiver, 2 or 3, as a part of that. And so it's important that those families feel supported, that they still feel like they can be engaged and still come to church or to their faith community for a support system that will continue to allow the person who's been diagnosed to stay within the community and stay active, because we know that's important for people when they're diagnosed as well. So,
absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely.
So if a faith community wants to get in touch with you, how would they proceed to possibly have a Dementia Friends Indiana session at for their congregation?
Absolutely. So I think the best way to reach out to us would be, as I mentioned before, this is a program of CICOA Aging In-Home Solutions. So you can contact DFI, as in Dementia Friends Indiana, at CICOA.org. So let me spell that out, DFI at CICOA.org, O-R-G. Or you can contact CICOA's switchboard, which would be 317-254-5655. 5465. Again, this is to request additional information, or if you would like to request an information session, we're more than happy to accommodate your request. We would love that. So I think that would be the best way to reach out to us. And that goes for, I'm sure you're going to be sharing this primarily with folks in the Marion County and surrounding county areas, but I think it's important to stress that we do work with all of the area agencies on aging throughout Indiana. So there's a network of 15 of us. Again, we administer and oversee this initiative, but we partner with each of these area agencies on aging. So if you're thinking, gosh, this is great, I'm so glad that I was able to engage in this, but I wonder about my loved one up in Lake County, up in the northern part of the state. Do they have the ability to access this? So you can always, again, reach out to that dfi@cicoa.org, and we can always, get you transferred to the respective area agency on aging, or provide more information about how your families or friends can get involved in that area of the state too. So.
That's great. That's great. That's good information because, a lot of times people may be concerned about a loved one that doesn't live in their county, or they don't live close to them, but to know that that's accessible to them anywhere is really important. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I so appreciate this time with you, Denise.
Yes. Thank you, Mindy. I really appreciate you doing this. And remember that CICOA is there for you. So please contact us. You can also contact me if you're seeing this through our resource page. Feel free to go ahead and contact me through the information that's provided. Have a good day.